All right, here we go. Welcome, Boston the Brewer, episode number 71. We've got, I'm actually 2 minutes early. Good on me. Lots to discuss. Hendo was away at the F1 on the weekend, so that'll be a fun thing to talk about. God, not much good news this week. It's all kind of like VAs and not particularly good news, but anyway, we'll do what we do, talk about it, and hopefully have a bit of fun at the same time and try some beers. I just realized I've got the same problem that I had last time with the wobbling stand, which I was going to fix with the Lexicon coaster, and I didn't. I'm going to fix this problem right now. Not going to waste the Lexicon coaster because they're too valuable. Let's have a look here. We passed 100 subscribers on YouTube, which is cool. So if you are watching the video, because normally I cut this out for the audio because it's just me talking shit at the start, so it's not particularly interesting. But if you are actually watching the video, thank you. I'd like to know how people watch these videos. Like, do you actually watch? You don't sit there and watch it, do you? Because it'd be fucking boring. But just have it on the background, I guess, like while you work or something. I don't really know. There we go. Solved. All right, let's let the boss man in. See what he's up to. Nice and non-wobbly.
Oh, Hendo, here I am.
Look how light I am and look how dark you are.
I fixed that. There we go.
There you go.
What's happening?
What is happening?
Tell you what, first thing you've got to do is you have to go up to the top right-hand corner of the window and change your view to speaker view.
It is.
Okay. Did you make videos, short videos of me?
Hey?
With the AI thing?
Yeah, I did it.
I didn't see them though. They were just pictures.
No, well, I didn't. Yeah, I did. I mean, it wasn't real good.
What happened?
Well, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of like it made. I might see if I can share the account with you because, like, I could sort of look at them all, but it made like 20 different videos.
Were you in it?
Yeah, no, it just split between the two.
Yeah.
And it would put some of the text up above, you know, like you have on TikTok and whatever, and it was doing it, and I think it transcribed them, but I think TikTok and Instagram do that anyway.
Yeah, kind of.
Don't they?
It's an app called CapCut that does all the fancy text and stuff.
Yeah. But the thing is, the AI doesn't really know what is the fun thing to share. Like, it had lots of different clips from the episode, but I don't know if they were necessarily the clips that are worth sharing on social media. Like the thing that I thought would be fun was you doing the Jim versus Tim deathmatch thing. But it only took the second half of that when you're like, yeah, we'll come over with a mower. And all the other stuff was just kind of like me talking about coasters and shit like that. It's like, do people want to hear that? I don't think so.
Doesn't that one that I sent you do it on keywords?
Oh, I can bring it up right now if you want. What was it called?
Vidya.ai.
Vidya. Whoa.
Don't accidentally go to some untoward site.
Untoward? Video. Oh, yeah?
Vidya.
Logged in already, mate. When did I log in? Yeah, here we go. So I just uploaded the video and I've used up all my credits, so I can't do another one.
Right.
But no, I don't think so. I think it just takes the. I'll see if I can give you access to this because there is like 20 clips in here and they look okay. It's just like the content I don't think is the kind of content that people necessarily want.
Okay.
But I'll see if I can share it with you.
Just export the videos and just upload them somewhere.
Yeah, fuck, I'll share my screen right now and I'll see if you can why don't we watch a couple right now?
Rightio then. Why not? Can we have a beer first?
Yeah. Have a beer first.
I've got a beer.
What do you got?
I've got this Easy Times Table Saison.
Nice. You like that one, don't you?
Never had it.
Oh, you never had it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Brewed on Bohemian Pilsner malt, hopped with Sars and fermented with Bluestone's Wallonia strain. This yeast-driven style is light, tart, and refreshing. Tangy citrus, subdued farmhouse funk, just like sherbet in a can.
Nice. So we can do a reaction video of us reacting to our own reactions.
Will we get fucking copyright struck?
Maybe.
Oh, this is lovely.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
See, if you have a look at these
several times over.
So what I had to press something to make sure you heard the audio properly last time, didn't I?
Yeah, before you share, you have to share audio. I have to stop sharing and then reshare again.
I have to stop. So
should be a tick box that says share desktop audio or something.
Multiple participants can share. Advanced sharing options. Where was it? Where was that little thing? Oh man, we're doing it again. It's another me not having a fucking clue how to use Zoom. 3 minutes into the show.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Like that?
Yeah.
Do you remember where the sharing option is?
Yeah, you just click share your screen and then
share sound. Okay. All right. So let me play. So you can see the screen, right?
Yes.
So like if you choose one of them.
Right.
So I don't know, what's it? Here we go.
A preview clip.
Poster thing, right?
Right.
Yeah. So either I can just leave it balanced, or the only thing within my reach to fix it is a Lexicon half coaster, which I would have to bend in half and destroy for the purpose of one episode of the podcast.
I don't think Paul would mind.
Do you think he'll know?
Nah. Oh, he'll know because he listens to the show. I don't think he'll mind.
Also, he hasn't hoped that he's not going to listen to this episode.
Okay. But Paul, if you've listened to this episode, post in the Facebook group that you've listened to the episode and tell us your opinion of Dan using the Lexicon half poster.
This is so weird listening to us.
Laptop. It's like
so
the
podcast has gone
seasick.
meta.
There's got to be a better way. Us reacting to our own reactions.
Talk amongst yourselves.
So the video's fine, but like, is the content what people want on Instagram?
I don't know. Why don't you just fucking send it?
True. Well, here's the Jim's Mowing one. Let's have a look at this one.
All right, I've got the fucking plan. Right? You remember that the old? I think it was on YouTube like 10 years ago. Oh no, MTV.
I'm gonna pause this. The other problem is we have all this back and forward, right? And a lot of it is just me just kind of looking there, being like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, so that's good.
That kind of needs to be edited and cut out of it, which is
that's quality content. You looking confused is quality content.
I suppose you looking disapproving was a quality thing that came.
Yeah, where they had like the two celebrities fighting. It was like stop motion. Fucking what was the name of that show?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
This is great. Celebrity Deathmatch.
Okay, yeah.
We need a Jin Penman and Dr. Tim Cooper, Celebrity Deathmatch. I'd pay-per-view that shit. That's funny to me.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Like, and then,
it's like no sold the whole idea.
Jim Penman gets a fucking lawnmower out and just like lawn mows fucking Dr. Tim's face and like out of like. Have you seen like the some of Peter Jackson's early movies?
No,
like Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson. That's where you need to start this one.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Fuck, really? That's where you need to start that one. This is where I say, have you ever seen some of Peter Jackson's early movies? That's the start of that clip. No, that's the start of the clip.
But then I have to do work. So, I mean, if this worked where I didn't have to do any work, I'd probably be keen on it.
You'd be able to trim those up pretty quickly. That's pretty good.
True. Yeah. All right. Well,
I like it.
Okay. All right. Well, the other thing is you get 70. Like, we're not going to pay for it because we have $0.
Yeah.
But you get 70 minutes per month. So we'd only be able to do one episode.
70 minutes of raw audio.
Yeah.
Or video.
Yeah, because see how many it created? It created like 30 different bits.
Yeah. Adam Shell on his week. Spelled Shell wrong.
Yeah, there's a lot of fixing up. But I think you can fix it. And
it's spelled G-Bung. G-B-U-N-G. That's
good. Here we go. So here we go. Luke Cooper question. Who will buy the G-Bung Brewery? So you can preview it. Luke Cooper question. Who will buy or lease the G-Bung Green Beacon facility? That's a good question.
Well, that's actually a really good question. This is great.
I've got a good idea. How about one of the majors buys it, takes it over, and then just shuts it down again in a couple of years. That'd be
So
sick.
it's only going to be line, really, isn't it?
That's a bit negative, isn't it? Anyway, so you can edit it. There you go. So you can trim it pretty easy.
You can trim it. Yeah, that's great.
Change the text.
Send it.
All right.
Send it.
All right. Well, okay. Well, let's do one from that episode.
Exactly. Let's move on from us talking about us watching us, because
100%. But this is relevant because we did this AI experiment, where we thought we were just going to get all the text out of our episode, and ChatGPT was going to turn it into a content machine, and we would drive lots and lots of reach, right?
But it didn't.
Well, let's see how you went, because we had a bet on this.
Oh, okay, right. Oh shit, did we?
Yeah, but the problem was, I actually wrote a post on it on my blog because I didn't spend that much time on it, but I thought it'd be interesting to see how it works. Nothing worked the way old mate suggested it would work. For starters, there's a 1,500 word limit in ChatGPT, and our transcript that you gave me back from Descript was 15,000 words.
Really?
Yeah.
I was hoping 12,000.
That's a lot of words. That's like, I mean, I've written books that are not much longer than that.
Really?
That's one episode.
Huh.
Yeah, I think my first book was only 25,000 words, I think.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, anyway, so I chopped it up into 10 lots and then put it in there and just got lots of inconsistent results, and then therefore couldn't really do anything with it. I did email, it did make me an email, which I sent to the email list.
Yep.
We didn't do the video thing. I kind of basically did nothing, to be honest.
Okay.
So I did do the stats on it, and I'm not gonna award myself a point for this because
it did fuck all.
I did fuck all. So I'm not gonna get a point, but I'll tell you what the results were. So we had an average reach of well, actually, the reach was exactly 1,188 when we first agreed to the deal, right?
Right.
And you thought we would get over 3,000.
How did I go?
Well, we went from 1,188 to 1,180.
We lost 8 people.
Yeah, virtually identical.
Fucking hell. Anyway.
But let's do the video next time. I'm not going to take the point because that's just...
Yeah, fair enough. That's very noble of you.
We also had the F1, so let's talk about that.
Oh my God, I had the best time.
That looks so sick.
I had the best time. It was amazing. You have to come next year and drop $2.5 grand on a ticket.
Yeah, if I've got a job, I will for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
I was very jealous.
It was so much fun, because on the way down, like, I was just hanging out with I stayed at a friend's place out in Richmond and drank heaps of beer. And
they went to the F1?
Yeah. It was a group of people that I got F1 tickets with and that sort of thing. And so where I had tickets was in the Brabham stand, which is right on turn 1 and 2 at the chicane, right at the end of the main straight.
Hey?
It was fucking great. And then all of the hospitality was over in the Carousel Suite, which is like the Carousel Cafe, which is over on the lake, about maybe 50, 100 meters away.
Right.
And so basically, and I thought that was really good, because had I have been in some sort of corporate box where the bar was where the watching of the race was, I would have been fucking slaughtered.
Exactly. If you got that much free alcohol.
And so it was really good just to sort of have a break and go for a walk and get a beer and then come back and that sort of thing. And plenty of beers, was never short of beers and bubbles and all that sort of stuff. And then the food was really good there as well. And then when you're ready to watch the next race, just mosey over whenever you feel like it. Your seat's there waiting for you. No one's in it, and watch the race. It was just so.
What days did you go? Did you go quali and race?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days.
Oh, you went all 3 days.
Yeah. It was great. Friday was good.
So Fridays, both practice sessions?
Practice and quali for the F3 and F2, I think it was, because the sprint race on the F2 on Saturday. Now, I'll tell you what, F3 and the F2, I watch a bit of the F2, but oh my gosh, the F3 cars, so loud.
Yeah, they're petrol, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but they're all petrol. But
no, but they're not hybrids.
No, neither's F2.
No, but F1 is.
F1 is a hybrid, yeah. But the F3 cars, man, they were loud. And it was just so really, really good. And the racing in F2 is so close because all the cars in F2 are identical.
Yeah, it's cool. Is there any Aussies in F3?
Yes. I don't know who, though. I can't remember.
Nice. Aussies are pretty good at driving cars, eh? It's good. What can I ask you a question about the F1 race?
Yes.
So the reason I've never gone is because generally I don't enjoy live sport because I feel I can't actually tell what the fuck is going on.
Yes.
So in that race, when all that craziness is happening at the end of that race, did you know what was going? Like, how did you know what was going on, or did you just not know what was going on?
TV.
So you got a TV right there, and you got commentary on the TV.
TV on the other side of the track, and then they had the loudspeaker with the commentary on.
Oh, okay. So what commentary?
You know exactly what was going on.
The same commentary that you get on like KO and that.
No. It's like the trackside commentary.
Okay.
And there was lots of people there who had like the full Moby headphones on, and they were listening to the radio. There was a FM radio station set up for the track.
Oh, that's cool.
Where you could listen to stuff. So the internet was shit because there's fucking 500,000 people at the circuit.
How do you listen to the radio without internet?
What?
How do you listen to radio on headphones without internet?
By radio waves? Like it used to be?
Yeah, but you used to actually have to have a radio, didn't you?
Yeah, well, that's what it was.
You bring a radio?
That's what people did. Transistor radios in their headphones. Ridiculous. Yeah. But at least it didn't buffer.
I suppose. But you got track commentary anyway, right? So,
that's fine. I didn't mind. You know, we saw one guy had a transistor radio and an earbud, and there was lots of people wearing headphones. They wanted to look like they were a Toto in the fucking Mercedes garage or something like that. If I wore those, I'd just look like fucking Moby, and Moby's a dickhead. And
he got cancelled, didn't he?
I don't know. And
so you knew what was so they were explaining what was going on at the end of that race.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you could see, you knew exactly what was going on, and then cars would zoom by and see all the overtakes and all that sort of stuff. It's really, really well done.
It was a fucking good race.
Didn't have that experience at the general admission tickets last year because where we ended up sort of sitting, couldn't see a TV, wasn't really any, couldn't really hear the trackside radio and that sort of thing. So being in the stand was really good for that purpose. It was just,
that's good to know.
There was the race, there was a TV, you could see everything clear as day, and it was just amazing.
Okay, I'm 100% convinced. I'm coming.
Yep. So you need to go. It's good fun. The V8s were good. The new Gen 3 V8s were excellent. Good close racing. The F1 race was so close. It was just like Alonso chasing Hamilton and just that whole race, and you're just going, come on, Alonso.
I know. I was just hoping
he couldn't get him to make a mistake, you know, and the big crash at the second restart, that was right in front of me. And
was it really?
Yeah, it's fucking great. Yeah, I saw Alonso get done, and then De Vries get hit by bloody Logan Sargent, and then I was like, fuck, and then you look up and you see the two Alpines hit each other. It was sick.
God, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing, and so and it was a lot of fun, and then on the last day after the race, I wanted to actually stay to watch, what was the band? Birds of Tokyo. But the friends I was with, they wanted to go because they were a bit tired. I said, it's going to be a bit of a fucking nightmare getting out of here. Anyway, yeah, let's go. All right, no worries. We got stuck in this massive queue trying to get out.
Oh, that sucks.
After the race and trying to get into the cab rank and that sort of thing. We were standing in the cab rank, and whilst watching the TV throughout the day, I remember looking up and seeing Logan Sargent's mum, Madeline, on the TV. And I
remember seeing her too.
Yeah, I saw her on the TV, and then standing in the cab queue, and I looked at her. She had like another female friend with her, and this guy was wearing a Williams shirt, and I looked at her and went, "Oh, that's Logan Sargent's mum." And I took me a while to sort of gather up the courage to ask her and that sort of thing.
What did you say?
My mate who I was with, he smokes, and so he got out of the queue to go have a cigarette, and he comes back in the queue and he sort of ducks in between and sort of cuts in front of Logan Sargent's mum to sort of get back with us. And she sort of gives us a dirty look, and I looked at her. I said, "Oh, it's okay. My friend's special needs. It's okay."
Oh.
And she's just laughed at me. And then that's where I started talking to her. I said, "Where are you guys from?" "Oh, from San Diego." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's nice." And I said, "Have a good day." And because I figured then, right, I knew I was on the money, and she goes, "They go, yeah, I had a good day, and that sort of thing. Not so good in the end, but it was all right." I said, "Yeah, where were you today? Whereabouts were you sitting?" She goes, "Oh, I was Gibbs garage," and I went, "Oh, did I see you on the TV today?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "You're Logan Sargent's mum, aren't you?" She goes, "Yeah."
Wow.
And so she was like, we was just having a chat to her. She was lovely. And I said, "Oh, look, it's just good that like Logan had that crash at the end." I said, "It's good he's safe and all that sort of thing." And how she feels about him, driving and that sort of thing. She's very, very proud of him. And then I said, "Can I get a selfie with you? Because I've got this fucking podcast and they wanted me to meet someone famous and you're it."
Oh, wow. That's epic.
And so I got the selfie with her and posted that.
She was happy enough with it, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was fine. She was lovely. Yeah. So it was good. And I said
really
to her,
cool.
"Why the fuck are you in the taxi queue?"
Yeah. I mean, it's his first year, isn't it? He's not on Hamilton.
Well, I said,
right
"You're
now.
in the fucking Williams garage. You'd think Williams would get your helicopter back to the casino or something, eh?"
Don't know about that.
Or a van or something, or lift with Logan.
Yeah.
But then she said, "Yeah, I know, I'm a little bit disappointed about that." But I was like, "Go jump in the cab." I let her jump ahead of the queue with us.
Oh, look at you go.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm jealous. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
And we had
all up, but fucking great weekend. It's just such a well-run event. I glad I spent the money that I spent on the ticket because I didn't have to worry about anything. It was great. I paid for it 6 months ago and just happy as Larry.
All right. Well, I'm next year field trip. I'm fucking so in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we had an over under on the driver of the day. So I gave you two because I picked Verstappen.
Yes.
And
I don't even know who the driver of the day is.
Well, I do. So
yes,
you had Bottas or Albon.
Yes.
I think they both crashed. Pretty shitty, didn't they? I don't know.
They were terrible. Well, Albon crashed.
Yeah.
Bottas was really slow.
I had Max, who won the race.
Yes.
By a fucking mile.
Yes.
Made one tiny mistake, but I would have objectively given Max driver of the day, but the driver of the day was Perez.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Which surprised me.
Yeah, we picked up a lot of places.
He came sixth. He got to sixth, I think.
Yeah, because he was back of he started in the pits.
Yeah, he was dead last. Yeah. In a street circuit, so it's pretty good going.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Those Red Bulls are so fast, though.
But that's the thing. So
you just see like the going through turns 1 and 2 there. Just Max was just, and like all the others are slowing down and getting on the gas and all that sort of stuff. He's so smooth.
Yeah, and you saw him overtake Lewis. Like Lewis came second, didn't he? He just breezed past Lewis like it was nothing.
Yeah. And I was just and George Russell did really, really well, except he got boned with that first, changed his tires and then had the red flag. It's a real pain in the ass. And then his engine blew up.
It's a lot of red flags. There must have been a lot of shit on the track.
I think it was all about the TV, especially that second one.
About the what?
With only like 6. It's all about TV. Like there was a situation that would have caused a safety car. They may have finished under the safety car, and
that second one was a bit.
It was just a bit shit.
But it was still shit because they didn't restart.
Yeah, well, exactly. So it was just shit. I heard something really interesting the other day about how in NASCAR they have extra time.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I think
Well,
that's a good idea, you know,
100%.
and that way you can do the safety car, let the safety car do what it needs to do, and then you have 3-4 laps, whenever the safety car ends, and then
Imagine if
that
they had
just solves that
another
problem.
restart in that race at the end of that race after all of that
Yeah.
chaos, and they had to do another restart, and you knew Max was a bit slow on the restart, and Lewis and Alonso wasn't there, but Lewis is right there.
They
That
could have
would have been
done
an epic way to finish the race.
extra time with a rolling start after the safety car, and that would have been a good finish. But unfortunately, I think because they don't refuel Formula One
That's a
cars,
good point.
they're all really low on fuel by the time they finish the race.
Yeah, but you could red flag it, and you could. Well, they don't really want them refueling.
And they have to have a minimum of a litre left in the tank.
Yeah.
At the end, so they can test the fuel.
Yeah.
So it'd be a tricky one, but interesting nonetheless, because they refuel NASCARs. So
yeah, it's kind of a disappointing way to end the race, but it was still an awesome race.
Yeah.
Right. So no one wins that. Although,
okay.
I mean,
Push through.
Put it this way: if Max started last in a race where his car is by far the fastest car on the grid, he's getting at least second. He's probably winning the race, in my opinion.
Yes.
So Perez, and especially in a race where there's 3 stoppages, so there's an opportunity to just make up.
It was apparently the Red Bulls were 34 kilometers an hour faster on the DRS zones.
Gee, yeah, they were fucking fast. He was overtaking in places you're not even supposed to overtake.
Yeah, exactly. Those cars are amazing.
So I'm not happy about Perez getting it. I don't think he would. I think if Max did that, he wouldn't have got it. He wouldn't have got it.
Yeah.
But I'll take the L. Well, I won't take the L, but I won't take the win.
Uh-huh.
All right. All right. Well, let's get on to. I did have a stats update, but it'll end up being too long. So skip it.
Skip it.
Get into the
We talk about ourselves too much.
100%. We just spent half an hour talking about ourselves.
Yeah.
So tribe creditors agreed to 5 cents.
Oh, what's that second one? That second point you got there?
Oh yeah. What's going on our Instagram account?
My Instagram account.
No, the Boston the Brewer Instagram account.
Oh, okay. I've been posting a few stories of the F1 and that sort of thing, but nothing in the Boston the Brewer account. I tagged it and then you reposted it, the story.
Right, but as far as I'm aware, this account has very strict rules.
Yes.
And the rules are that people can follow us, anyone can follow us, either of us can post, but we only follow one person, and that person is Snoop Dogg. So when I went onto
we still only follow one person.
We sure don't.
And we follow one person.
I see what's happening. I see what's going on. Would you want to explain yourself?
Well, I was at the Grand Prix and I'd had a few drinks of a certain Tennessee type of nature, and there was all these signs around the place of that particular brand of Tennessee whiskey that I happen to like, and I went, "Fuck it, I'm going to follow it." And so the Boston the Brewer now follows Jack Daniel's AU
and Snoop Dogg. And that's
not a person though, so we still only follow one person, which is Snoop Dogg. So not breaking that rule.
That's fair.
So
but I feel like there's different
Jack
rules
Daniels.
for you than there is for me. Let's be honest about that.
Of course there is. Of course there is.
All right. So the new rule is we only follow one person.
Snoop
we only
Dogg.
follow one company. Do you think?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay then.
All right. A more serious topic.
One person, one company. Got it.
Yeah, you're going to follow somebody else obscure. I know. Anyway, all right. I know what you're going to do. You can follow my dog if you want. All right. So tribe creditors agreed to 5 cents in the dollar for.
Yeah. Wow.
Voluntary administration. Did you read this? Did you read the AFR article on this?
I didn't read the AFR. Let's have a look at it. I read the crafty one.
Yeah.
$72 million.
Fucking staggering,
debt. That's a lot of debt.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of debt.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Like, and who we got there? Kathmandu, Jan, Cameron, or is it Jan? Is it Jan? Oh, it's Jan.
Jan?
Yeah. Yeah, wow. 5 cents in the dollar. Holy moly.
It's really scary. Like, I don't. There's going to be like serious downstream consequences of companies not paying back like tens of millions of dollars to creditors, isn't there? There's no way around it. It's so much money.
Yeah, Brewer's going to pay it.
And the other thing is, like, if the company's gotten into that position, right, you're not allowed to trade a company that's insolvent.
Yes.
But they've been traded, like, how long is it? Like, they got an $8 million ATO debt. So this has been
8 million ATO.
8 million to the ATO. So I mean, how is the company? So even if they get rid of all that debt, right, and the new owners are like, okay, sweet, we've gotten rid of all the debt. Now we'll come in and we'll improve everything.
Yes.
They've still inherited a company that is obviously not. I mean, are you even allowed to say it's not solvent? It doesn't seem very solvent if it's got.
Well, it becomes solvent once you restructure the balance sheet.
Yeah, but if the P&L is that bad, like if they're losing that much money, they're still.
It can be profitable and cash flow negative.
Oh, I feel like it's unlikely that they're profitable. If they got that much debt, I mean, I don't know how much the brewery costs, but it must be. It could be it would be very unlikely that they're profitable with that much debt.
That's a lot of debt, though. I don't think it's all suppliers and ATO and stuff like that.
Loans,
there'd have to be some
loans.
There'd be debts on equipment and yeah, and yeah, it's crazy stuff. But we'll see what happens, and at least the staff keep their jobs and their entitlements and that sort of thing. And I don't know what you would do. What would you do with it afterwards? What would you do with try it?
I don't know. And the other interesting thing is, Coles and Woolies just bought a milk factory for $100 million because they sell so much home brand milk that it makes sense for them to sort of, I guess, like vertically integrate the producer. I know they buy wineries because I went to one in Tasmania that they bought the night before I was there for $60 million or something crazy.
Yeah.
But they're obviously not interested in buying this business, right? And this is the business that makes most of their product, isn't it?
Coles or Woolies? Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it?
Very interesting. I wonder why. I mean, I don't know anything about this particular business, but I do wonder why Coles and Woolies are not interested in
a brewery.
Yeah, in buying a brewery, especially the one that makes all of their product. Unless it's just so easy for them to make it elsewhere, it doesn't bother them too much.
Yeah.
But I find that
not sure, mate. Not sure. That's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, well, we don't have much good news this week. It's a lot of it fucking bad shit, to be honest. But
is it? Oh,
anyway,
fuck's sake.
There you go. So Parch.
Shit. Well, Parch went into VA. But this one, again, is different. They're always different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you read this article?
Yeah, I think that this is different. If you have a look at the high-level kind of reasons for, all these different breweries going into VA, Easy Times wanted to restructure their ownership. Ballistic wanted to restructure its balance sheet. Tribe was just drowning in debt. And this one's about the owner wanting to sell.
Yeah, interesting.
And it's the fastest way to sell because it's a really interesting way to play it because it's also very expensive. You can hire a business broker and have a lot of tire kickers come by. But if you put the sense of urgency around it, the fact that a VA has to last 45 days or whatever the fuck it is, it opens up, it speeds up the process, and
right.
And so you don't have to.
It also clears out all of their credit, like their debt, and
not necessarily. So someone could come along and say to the administrator, I'm going to buy this business for $1, but I'm going to pay all the creditors 100 cents in the dollar.
Right. Okay.
That could happen.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And so,
Well, let's hope that does
the
happen.
VA doesn't always mean that creditors are going to get fucked. They usually do, but like I've said before, in these situations, it's either shareholders, employees, or creditors get fucked over for money, and that's clearly the case. And so, let's say someone comes in and says to the administrator, "I'm going to buy this for $1, but I'm going to pay the creditors 100 cents in the dollar." Well, the administrator is going to take a very serious look at that, because the administrator's job is to act in the interest of the creditors. Right? But who gets fucked in that situation is the current owner. He sells his business for $1.
But what if they have a deal to not pay the creditors anything and buy the business for $500,000?
Well, there would have to be an ejection of money into the business, and some of that would have to go to the creditors.
Yeah, I know, but let's say that they do the ballistic or the tribe and give them 10 cents.
That could possibly that could happen.
Yeah,
it could happen. But if you were a person who was looking to buy a brewery, what would potentially make that your offer more attractive to the administrator is looking after the creditors more so.
Yeah. And then does the owner have any? I feel like we don't know enough about this.
The owner doesn't have any say in it.
Owner doesn't have any say in that. So,
no.
So they would. Do you think they would be more likely to take that deal than a deal where the business gets a lot of money but the creditors don't get a lot of money?
Then that's the administrator not acting in the interest of the creditors.
Yeah. So you think they would be more likely to get the deal where the creditors get paid
100 cents in the dollar, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of ways that it can be played. So it's a very risky thing from, Carl, who's the current sort of director of the business.
Well, maybe he's thinking the same thing. Maybe he thinks this is not something that I can sell for a lot of money, but I can get out of this situation I'm in.
Correct. Yeah. And without, being lumbered with the debts of the business and that sort of thing. Right. So, because worst case scenario, it gets liquidated.
Yeah.
So, apparently the brewery's doing good, and that sort of thing. But, it's in a great area. So much,
cool. I went there
one of the most densely populated parts of Queensland. And it's right smack bang in the middle of it. And I think that's good, So let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's fucking sad though, isn't it? There's too many of these. It makes me sad.
Southeast Queensland is overrepresented, mate.
Apparently. But not good. So I hope everyone there is doing okay, because just sounds like an awful process to go. But I guess one thing, I think there's something to be said for, if he's decided that actually this isn't working, I'm not going to just ignore it. I'm going to put my hand up and say, come in and help. Then, he's probably doing the right thing from that point of view.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's commendable. But it's just fucking sad. I'm sad by it. All right. Pregnancy labeling approved. So I just skimmed this article. I wasn't sort of fully up on the history of it, but it seems like, did you read this to see that they don't have to make it red anymore on the carton boxes?
Yes.
They can just make it black.
Yes.
That's quite a big win.
That's a big win.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a big win because, like, the pregnancy labeling requirements that went on to labels and cans required red. And so if you're coming up with a can label or a printed can in particular, where you've got the real high volume product, you need an extra plate for that color, and that makes it very expensive. Makes your can more expensive. And it's the same thing with carton outers. Is that every color that you put on a carton outer costs more money for printing and more money for setup, because you actually have to have the plates and you keep the plates. Every time you reprint a run of those carton outers. So I think it's a big win, because basically it means you can have a monochrome version of the pregnancy warning label. Yeah. Which we should have.
Yeah. And it's kind of a common sense thing, like,
and
it's a common sense. It would have been ridiculous for them to
and it's a good compromise.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
So I think it's good.
Yeah, agreed. Good. All right. This one you probably know more than me about because we've talked about your mate Grum before.
Grum and Fraser.
The brewery.
Yeah, it was very sad to hear about Exit Brewing. Throwing in the towel and calling it quits and that sort of thing. They are, Fraser and Grum, great bunch of guys. Exit because they're ex-IT, and some of the best times I've had, whilst running Brew Cult, was when we were sort of all brewing at Kaiju. Shortly after they built their new brewery down in Dandy South and that sort of thing, and we're all. I think my memory of Exit Brewing was at the start of I think it was 2016. Yeah, it's 2016. Where the Kaiju Brewery in Dandenong South was sort of just finished construction around the end of 2015. I'd shifted all the Brew Cult production there. What else? What was it? So Exit were brewing beers, Kaiju were brewing beers, Brew Cult were brewing beers, and we all sort of, we all sort of won trophies at the ARBAs that year.
Nice.
It was really cool. And so I'm trying to see if I can find the photo. There's a really cool photo. Actually, fuck, it might be on my Instagram.
Oh, before I forget the photo, I need to get a screenshot of you holding the beer. You still got that beer?
Yeah, of course.
Still, fucking Hendo special. There you go. Winner.
My hair okay? So there's some really. Oh, here we go. Here's the trophy. Be that photo of Grum and Fraser, Grum and Nat and I, where we were just happy. It was just the three of us, and we're just happy, fucking making awesome beer and that sort of thing. And it was just so good, and we were doing some amazing stuff, and it was great, and there were some really good times in the industry, and we were all making some kick-ass beers and winning trophies and all that sort of stuff, and it was just so good, I'll find the photo and I'll post it into the Facebook group, which, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, it is facebook.com/groups/Boss and the Brewer. Come and join the 12 of us and have some fun. And it was so cool. Holy shit, I'm getting a bit of nostalgia now, all the photos I'm looking at.
Are you gonna cry again?
Is that a photo? Is that a photo of Nat Mazin? That's a video of Mazin. Did you hear that?
No.
It was a close-up of Mazin's face going, "Fuck you, I'm going to kill you."
Oh, wow. Nice. Don't share your screen on that one.
No. Oh, he's so funny, that guy. So
they were sharing
times.
the brewery with Kaiju, right?
Yes, that's right. But they never owned it. It was kind of like part owning it. I don't know. I don't really know the situation. But they worked really hard, and they had Outgang Bar in Richmond, and I was staying with some friends in Richmond actually when I was there for the F1, and I walked past Outgang Bar and the sign's still there and it said, "We're closed. Thanks for the good times." And it was literally that afternoon when I heard that they were closing. It was just very fortuitous that I happened to be in Richmond at the time, and so I sent Grum and Fraser a text message saying, "Hey man, thanks for the beers. Whatever you choose to do in the future, I know you're going to crush it." And I would like to see Grum, who's a very, very talented brewer, go and get a job. He would make a great head brewer somewhere, and do really well at it. Because when we were sort of running the brewery down at Kaiju was this fucking Italian fucking brew house. I think it's up at Black Flag now. And it was, driving an Italian brew house is like driving an Italian car. Right? It's just, you got to know how to drive it properly. And none of us could.
From Louis G on that.
Maybe. And none of us could drive this brew house except for Grum.
Yeah.
Right. And he was the only person who could lauter this fucking thing and make it work without getting a stuck mash or pulling grain husks through into the kettle. And so that's where I sort of nicknamed him the Wort Whisperer. Because that's what he was. He was just the Wort Whisperer. He could just talk to this fucking brew house and just make shit work. It was phenomenal. So, yeah, amazing stuff. So,
yeah, that was a good time.
Thanks for the beers. Thanks for the beers. And can I share my screen to show you something really fucking dumb?
Has it got anything to do with Mars and swearing at you and threatening?
No. It's a photo of me in Australia's Surfing Life magazine from 1993.
What? You're getting very fucking distracted.
I've disabled participant sharing. Yeah, because I got this folder for the photos. So look at this shit.
Go on. You got it?
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
That's me with hair. Have a look at that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's from Australia's Surfing Life magazine.
Should we like change our Instagram profile picture to that, maybe?
To that?
Yeah.
I should change my Instagram profile picture to that.
100%. That's cool. What are you doing with your hand there?
Doing a shark as its fin cruises through the water. That's at Burleigh, by the way.
Wow.
And when I finished university, I was surfing because all the friends that I used to work with all surfed and that sort of thing. And I got out of the water one day, and this guy comes up and he goes, "Oh, can I interview you for Australia's Surfing Life magazine?" I said, "Yeah, no worries." And he asked me to tell a story about my heaviest shark experience, and he said, "Oh, can I take your photo?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he's like, he said, "Oh, can you do like a shark fin, like cruising through the water?" I was like, "Yeah." So good.
What was the shark experience?
Surfing down at Fingal, actually.
Oh, yeah, that place.
It's fucked. It's fucked. And we were out at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, just as the sun was coming out. Worst time to be out there. And so I was out there. I was never a very good surfer then. And so I was out there and I was sort of paddling, and my friends got waves and got in. And then I saw them on the shore and they're jumping up and down and waving, and I'm waving back to them going, "Hi."
And they saw the shark.
They saw the shark. And then one of them goes like this, goes, and I'm like, "Fuck."
So did you see it?
No. I
Oh,
just
wow.
fuck out of there so quickly. And so, yeah, apparently it was a big shark. So I dodged a fucking bullet there, or dodged a shark, actually.
Man, there's so many sharks around here. I walked down the beach the other day. One of the guys from the street was out the front, and he's like, "Oh yeah, check this out." Because there's a guy on the street who's always got drones and it flies out the front.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, there was a big bait ball out here on Monday. Check this out." And he shows me footage, and it's just here, like literally just here out the front, footage of a big bait ball and just sharks like swarming into this thing, like eating all of this bait fish. That was Monday, 2 days ago.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
They're everywhere.
So yeah, that was fucking heavy shark experience. And then I had this excellent board. I fucking loved the board that I had. And I was out at Burleigh one day, and it was a pretty heavy shore break, and I fucking snapped the thing in half.
Oh, really?
And
I've never done that.
If you snap a board in half, you can't fix it. And that was it. And I had no money to replace it. And so I had to get a job.
Do you still surf?
No.
When was the last time you
Not at
surfed?
all. When was the last time I surfed? 1990.
Really? Should go for a surf. It's like riding a bike, mate.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah. I probably go. I'm pretty slack, but I probably go like once every 6 months, and I can still do it. You don't forget.
Yeah, look, I'm pretty comfortable with not surfing anymore. So
seriously worry about sharks. Because all I see on my social media now is just sharks everywhere. So that doesn't help. Anyway, we're getting fucking so distracted. Are we going to talk about beer? No, actually, I put this thing in here.
What did you put in there?
There's a new vintage of Daniel Ricciardo's wine.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he had a winery.
Yeah, no, St. Hugo DR3 wine.
Excellent.
We should get it.
Where are they? Where's that? South Australia?
Yeah, I think so.
You know the weird thing about wine?
There's nothing weird about wine.
So if I was to say southeastern Australian wine, where do you think I'd be talking?
I've no idea.
So I think it's according to Wine Australia, right? Southeastern Australian wine stretches from the Queensland New South Wales border, doesn't count Queensland wine,
right,
all the way around into South Australia. That is Southeastern Australian wine.
Well, it's South and Eastern, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they make pretty fucking good wine in South Australia, and Daniel Ricciardo's cool. So I feel like those two reasons alone.
Why don't you go buy a bottle?
You know why? I'll tell you. I clicked on
how much.
Guess how much it is?
A couple $100.
$80.
That's not bad.
I've never bought a bottle of wine for $80.
Really?
Never.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
How much better? Are you a wine drinker?
Yes, red wine. Love it.
So how much better is an $80 bottle of red wine compared to, say, a $30?
Well, it depends if I'm having it with a meal, mate.
Yeah.
If I'm having a steak.
You could tell the difference? Like easily tell the difference between a 30 and an 80?
Yeah.
See, I don't know if I
don't do a blind tasting with me, but if I know that I've paid $80 for it.
Wow, yeah. See, there you go. Yeah, I can tell the difference between like a $15 bottle of red wine from BWS compared to like a $30 bottle of red wine from Somme, which is the place up the road from here that has all the independent shit.
Yep.
It's chalk and cheese. Like one is awesome. The other one is kind of hard to drink.
Yes.
But the more I go up from the 30, I think we've gone as high as like maybe 50, 60. There's no improvement for me. It's just like.
You need to shout the misso.
Yeah. She can probably hear this, mate. Don't say that too loud. So you think I should buy her Daniel Ricciardo wine?
Yeah, buy her a Daniel Ricciardo wine. Yeah. Here you go, honey. Hey, babe, got you a bottle of wine.
All right, I will do that. All right, let's get to these questions. So we've got the questions in the group, but we've also got a question from Daniel Ridd, which is a standalone question.
Yeah, you want to read that one out?
Read it out. So just catching up on last week's episode. Judging by the HTML code, Brews News website is no longer WordPress. So that I mentioned it looked a bit thin on the text. It was hard to read the article, and you blamed on WordPress, which deeply offended me. Oh, thank you, baby. $15. She just said $15 from BWS.
Get that woman an $80 bottle of Daniel Ricciardo wine.
Okay. Oh god. Okay, so anyway, this is not related to the question, but I was commenting on the fact that it was very hard to read the article because it was narrow. You made it about WordPress, which deeply offended me, and I attacked you.
I love WordPress, though.
And then I said it's not WordPress. And anyway, he's dug into the code here and determined that it's no longer WordPress, which I find hard to believe. You wouldn't migrate a massive media site from WordPress to something else, would you? That'd be a nightmare.
Wow, that's a big job.
Yeah, but anyway, that's not the question. Regarding the discussion about the word beer on the Indie Seal, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here, but what about an IBA member like Moondog who possibly produce more seltzer than beer?
Yeah.
Regardless of what I think about the beverage, I'd rather see consumers choose one from an indie brewery than otherwise. Having said that, the Seal is not a fizzer. Not on Fizzer. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. What else do you say? Sorry, read the rest out.
Not the one that's been sitting in the fridge for the last 2 years anyway. That's a bit unfair. What's wrong with Fizzer?
I fucking smash heaps of that shit.
I don't necessarily disagree with Dan and Hendo. I just thought it was worth adding to the discussion that whether the indie campaign material features the word beer or not was probably a difficult one for the IBA to decide and needed to consider the business models of all of its members. Agree with all that?
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm not sure if I made it clear on my point of view of the independent seal and that sort of thing. The independent seal is missing something.
No, you made it clear. It just took us like 20 minutes to
get there.
What you were saying, but yeah.
Now, you can currently get flavors of the independent seal that says certified independent supporter. I think there's also one that says certified independent venue. But there's no certified independent beer. There's no certified independent brewery. Now, had it have said certified independent brewery behind every great Aussie indie, that would have given it more context and made more sense. So, so to take sort of Daniel Ridd's point there, doesn't necessarily have to say beer, but it could say brewery. Would that
real quick?
No, I'm not. No. It just my point is saying certified independent nothing doesn't mean shit.
I like this idea, actually. I didn't like the idea of putting beer on the seal. I didn't think that was necessary since it's always on a
certified independent brewery. Perhaps?
I like the brewery idea because then you could bring in if it's I don't know anything about Moondog and what their percentages and whatnot, but if what we're trying to promote is breweries brewing,
yes,
not just buying in alcohol and putting some flavors in it, then maybe it's an entry requirement that if you want to be a certified independent brewery, you need to have a certain percentage of product that you actually brew.
Yes, that's right. I'm actually logged into the IBA website now, and they've got shelf wobblers, AIBA, there's hashtags, coasters. Yeah, the fucking shit.
There's a lot of gaps in the audio, Hendo. I'm not removing these.
I just think that the seal needs something else. The word below it, certified independent brewery.
I like the brewery idea, and then you could potentially not include. Well, you wouldn't replace the current independent seal because a beer that was contract brewed by an independent company, you would still want the seal on there, but that brewery couldn't call themselves an independent brewery because they don't brew the beer.
Let me see if I can pull that up, mate. Supporter seal. Here we go. Supporter seal. Let me see if I can show you. Here it is. Look at this shit.
All right. Share your screen again. Let's react to you reacting to something, to our reactions.
All right. Look at that. Certified independent supporter. That is official fucking part of the seal. Certified independent supporter. Right.
That makes sense. I mean, that's just like a venue that's like said they're supporting.
Why can't that word supporter be replaced with brewery?
I like that. I like that idea. That's good.
You know what I mean? Here you go. Certified. There's a fucking flag. There's a flag. There's a fucking light box. There's another light box, a round one. There's a sticker on a fucking window.
Is the difference between the second light box and the third light box that the second light box was a fucking light box and the third one was just a light box?
What about this fucking cap?
One of these days we're going to do an episode where I don't have to click that button on YouTube that de-ranks our content because you swear non-stop.
Oh. I don't care.
This
is great, and you see that and you go, okay, that makes sense. And so if they can say certified independent supporter, which fuck does that mean anyways, right? Certified independent brewery, same font, just fucking send it. Send it.
I'm keen on that idea. I don't think putting the word beer in there, but brewery as like a thing to have at your brewery, like a sign out the front or whatever. I'm keen for that.
I just think saying certified independent nothing makes no fucking sense.
Right.
So I hope I answered Daniel's question.
Yes, it wasn't really that much of a question. It was more of a commentary, but thank you for your input.
Great.
We like this kind of stuff in the group because the group it gets active on like Wednesday night and then kind of goes a bit quiet.
Yeah.
So
yes,
that's good. All right. So questions for tonight. There's 14 of them, which is
incidentally, we have to change the night. We have to change the night we record in 2 weeks' time. Actually,
that's fine.
In fact, next week is the last week we're going to be recording on a Wednesday night.
Okay. I'm cool with that. I feel like that's fair.
Yep.
We've got 300 past 300 members in the Facebook group.
What?
Yep. And we also hit a milestone on YouTube, which I was going to talk about in the stats thing, but
Yeah.
it got to 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Not bad.
Fancy people liking two dickheads and a microphone.
I know. How good.
We tried to make a theme song at my friend's place
Oh, really?
in Melbourne. Yeah. And
You got it?
No, we were really smashed. And he's got one of those things, the looping machines.
Oh, that's cool.
And we were just sitting around, just having beers, and we were just sort of had two dickheads and a microphone.
I like that. Have you got it?
It was good. No, we fucking got trashed and accidentally deleted it because I turned the knob.
No.
But we'll do it again.
Okay. If any of the 12 are capable DJs, please make us a song.
Yes.
I mean, we've got shirts, we've got coasters.
Yeah.
Why not? Okay, you ready for some questions?
Yes.
Right, Adam Shell.
Which one?
Yeah, okay. Not that one, the other one? All right. Oh, wow. He's just gone right on a limb and he hasn't even put question colon in before his question. That's
fuck,
aggressive.
he must have been in a hurry.
Yeah, fuck, that's weird.
Wow.
Had anyone brewed with maple sap before? I realize it's not likely. It's not likely bring fucking what's going on with Adam Shell? Okay. I realize it's not likely. That must be being, that's an autocorrect. Being that it's in Canada, but regardless.
Right.
I saw a post on Craft Beer Professionals that mentioned it and sounded interesting. Maple sap.
Well, in consideration that we generally don't have maples here, no.
We brewed a beer with maple, but I don't think it was sap.
Maple syrup?
Yeah, I think it was just like legit maple.
But that's
syrup.
all that is, though. That's basically maple sap that's just boiled down.
Yeah.
To thicken it up.
Yeah, well, we definitely did. But I mean, people have used maple syrup in beer before, that's for sure. I don't know about this, the sap. Right, Paul James question. What's Dan's thoughts on the Brews News article on Black Ops results? Yes, I figured I'd get asked this question.
Of course you would. $1.8 million. Anyway.
Yeah.
Matt Kierkegaard had a good time making a point of it. Anyway.
Oh, you can answer the question?
No, I'm not going to answer the question. He's like, oh, Black Ops finally submitted something to ASIC. Work.
Yeah. I don't have a huge issue with the article. I suppose I don't want to say really anything about it only because, I left and when I left, I fully left.
Not your place to. Yeah, of course.
It's in someone else's hands. I'm not going to sit around and fucking talk about it. It's in Nathan.
That was 2022 FY, wasn't it?
It was both. I think there was financial results in there for 2022 and then the first 7 months of 23. So yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much other than one thing I'll say is I don't have a huge problem with the article itself. I'm actually a fan of transparency, and even before well before Black Ops, I used to do an income report on my own blog about my own little business I was doing, and I did it month after month after month, for 12 months, and even at the end of 12 months, I was only making $470 a month. Like this thing was the worst business in the world. It wasn't even a business. It was just an idea. And I was still publishing those reports because the transparency thing, I think, is a good thing. And I think in our industry, it's a good thing too. And one thing I'll say about the article is when these stories get written about crowdfunded companies and listed companies, they don't really get written about anyone else because crowdfunded companies and listed companies publish their results, right? And I think that's a good thing. I think it's good that there's a level of accountability and there's a bit of sort of public...
How come you didn't publish stuff to ASIC for a while?
Well, I'm not going to answer any questions about Black Ops because I'm happy to talk to you about it, but I don't sit here and answer questions about Black Ops. But I do think the transparency and the accountability is a good thing.
Yes.
And I think when you have these articles about, you know, the results according to Brews News are not very good, but, you know, I don't know anything about any other brewery, but it's fucking hard out there at the moment. I think that's pretty well known.
Of course.
But I think with crowdfunding breweries, that's what I like about it. Like, I like the fact that, you know, if the numbers are good or the numbers are bad, you share it with the investors and you put the information out there. And I think the industry is better for it. And that's why when I was there, you know, I'd shared everything, you know, early on from, you know, every aspect of the business. That's the way we did things.
Yes.
And I think that's ultimately a good thing. The thing I didn't like about the article was anytime there's something like this, he always sort of makes it about crowdfunding. And I wanted to make the point that...
Oh, it's at Brews News.
Yeah. And he obviously doesn't like crowdfunding, which I don't have beef with his...
But if you're gonna write articles and you're gonna be like a journalist, you shouldn't let your opinions leak into that shit.
Oh, yes, you should. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine. Yeah. I'm fine with an opinion that you don't like crowdfunding, right? I know you've got the opinion that you don't think investing in a brewery is a very good idea, and therefore you don't.
It's not for me, but I get why people do it, of course.
Right. So I've got no problem with that. But the thing that I've got a bit of a problem with is, like, there's probably lots of 700 breweries in the country. There's probably lots of P&Ls out there that don't look that great.
Yes.
And it's only the crowdfunded ones and the ASIC listed ones that you ever hear about.
Yes.
And so, you know, I don't think it's a crowdfunding story. I think it's it's a story about a business that, you know, is finding it hard out there at the moment, which is every fucking brewery is, except maybe better beer. So yeah, and it's funny because I spoke to Matt this week from Virtual, and
how's
had
he
a lot
doing?
of these conversations with him. And I agree with him on the fact that, like, it's generally better for the information to be out there about how these companies are going, in my opinion. And when you invest in a business, whether it's by crowdfunding or any other way, it's the same fucking thing. And so, like, the position on crowdfunding being a bad thing to me is basically just saying it's not a good investment to invest in a brewery, and that's an opinion. I'm fucking fine with that. But I'm not fine with making every negative story being negative about crowdfunding, because every other brewery's got investors too. You just don't know about them, and the information's just not public.
Yes.
So you don't start a brewery without investors. It's a fucking expensive thing to do.
Yes.
So yeah, that was my takeaway from all of that. But yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Nick Lennon, does any brewery have a successful brut IPA? I don't even know how to say that. Urbanaut in New Zealand pushed them for such a long time. Are they safely gone now? Is there any good ones out there? I haven't heard that for a long time. Have you?
That's a great question. Yeah, I did one with Maddie from Rebel.
No, I haven't heard. Like, haven't heard that. Like, it was hot for a while there, and then it's just like,
yeah, it was hot for a while. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're dead. It was just that thing where people just decided that they were going to make dry IPAs and all that sort of thing, and yeah, it just didn't work out, you know. So fuck, what are you going to do?
Yeah, but it's a good thing, isn't it? Experimenting with different styles and seeing if they work.
I agree. I think it's fucking great.
Yeah,
I think it's great, you know, and I think like there's brut IPA and cold IPA and farmhouse IPA and all those sorts of the Belgian IPA and all those sorts of things were done. Some of them are good, some of them not so good, but that's okay.
It's also like not a real sort of accessible style, I feel like.
Brut IPA?
Yeah.
Oh, look, you know, I think they're I think it was interesting experiment to do a brut IPA. But yeah, it's just done now. They were done.
All right. Matt Quinton, going for 500ml cans rather than a new recipe as a marketing strategy. Seems to be going pretty well, doesn't it? I'm seeing the Bolter 500s everywhere.
I love the 500s.
Yeah. I'm a
How
fan.
much is it? What's the RRP of a Bolter 500 can?
I don't know. I didn't buy one because I'm not personally wanting 500 mil of a beer, but I'd like the marketing around it and the kind of idea to do it.
$26 from First Choice.
How much?
$26.
26 for a 4-pack?
I suppose.
That's cheap as fuck.
Bayfields Liquor Limited Edition XPA $79.99. 16 500ml cans for $80. That's pretty fucking cheap.
16. That's insane.
That's pretty cheap.
That's insane.
I like that.
Yeah.
Guess where I'm going tomorrow.
All right. Jet Rigetti. What are some smaller breweries you guys actually on the 500 mil thing? I saw in the Brews News group, Sterl replied with the kind of reasons for doing it, and it all seemed quite genuine. And one thing that I thought of immediately when they brought out that was, people like, oh, they're just copying Stone and Wood, but the lead time on these beers, people don't understand how long it fucking takes to plan these things out. And he said in that post that it was planned 12 months ago, which is a long fucking time to plan a limited release.
Wow.
Yeah. And especially,
that's a lot just to fucking put same beer in a different format.
Yeah, but it's even a lot just to, like, if you think about the canning line, when they did the original 500s, I don't think they had that big Crohn's canning line. I think they had the old one they started with. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And then you've got the case packer and everything else. Everything needs to be reconfigured.
To change parts.
Size.
Yes.
It's
very expensive.
All right. What are some smaller breweries you guys are really excited to see where they go? What are some prospects you think could be big players in the future?
Oh boy.
Range are doing some interesting shit. They're opening
Range doing some interesting shit. Yeah. They got the new one in Paddington. Yeah.
Bugger. Wish I was still there.
Closer to my house.
Mm.
Paddington's close. That's where I'm fucking going. That's it.
Mm.
If they do the fried chicken, then I'm going to be very happy.
Yeah, they're doing balcony type shit, so I'm sure they will.
Patio, mate.
Sorry, okay, all right, patio, whatever.
Yeah, with the fucking program. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It's in Rosalie. I still actually live in Rosalie, and nice spot.
I used to live in Paddington. I owned a house there, and then when I sold it, I knew I'd regret it for the rest of my life, and I do.
Because it'd be worth a fucking fortune now, eh?
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Yeah. I'm looking forward to what Range do there. What other small breweries do I like? Where did I go? I went to Burnley Brewing when I was in Melbourne last weekend. Went to I've got the bloody receipt here. Over in Hawthorne. That was pretty good. And it's pretty good. It's all right. It's hard to be a small brewery and make good beer.
Yeah, I haven't been traveling much, so I'm not really getting out a lot, but yeah. All right.
Ramblers Ale Works is where I went.
Which one?
Ramblers Ale Works.
Oh yeah, nice.
It was okay.
Nick Lennon, Hendo, are you in Korea for that beer event? If so,
yeah, I got invited.
Are hosting an event at our pub in Seoul on Friday night. Swing in. If you're not on the VIP list, they sent out. Ooh.
Are you serious?
There's a fucking invite for you.
I actually got invited to judge at KIBA, the Korean International Beer Awards. And it's actually the first. I actually got invited in 2020.
Didn't you go with Smiley, with Lee?
No, we go to Japan.
Japan.
I go to Japan with Smiley, but we actually both got invites to go to Korea to the inaugural Korean International Beer Awards.
Right.
In April. It was in April in 2020, and we all got into lockdown. Had the flights booked and everything.
That sucks.
And it was like, fuck. In lockdown, couldn't go. Got the refund for the ticket and all that sort of stuff.
Elon, shut up. Fuck you doing?
And
Sorry.
And then when it fired up again this year, they said, "Oh, can you come? Would you like to come and judge?" And I'm like, it's the teaching. It's tough,
It's getting in the way of the travel. It's getting in the way of the podcast.
The teaching?
Yeah.
The teaching is getting in the way of so many things in my life.
It's important work, though. You're doing good work there.
Yeah, but I love it so much.
All right.
I
Kalani
love
Fuller.
the students. I love the students too much.
Question, Colin. Thank you for doing that. First person to do that? What's going on? The tradition's gone out the window.
What the fuck?
Has Hendo been to Bali and rode a scooter there? Not long got back and it's crazy.
Yes, I've been to Bali. No, I've not ridden a scooter there, but yes, I would ride a scooter there, and I'd wear a fucking helmet.
Oh, fucking nice.
Yeah, people who go to like I'm a motorcyclist. I've ridden motorcycles for fucking 25, nearly 30 years, right? And so like I would have no problem going to Bali where it's just crazy shit and being on a scooter or a motorcycle and surviving. But fuck, there's some people who just don't ride scooters at all, and then find themselves in a bad way, and they don't wear helmets. It's like, just don't get on even an open face helmet. Just don't wear an open face helmet, because when you fly over the handlebars, what's going to hit the fucking ground first is your face.
Fuck that. Yeah.
At-gat is what we say.
Some guy died on a scooter fucking 800 meters from here.
Yeah.
The other day, last week, on the Esplanade, died on a scooter.
Yeah.
No helmet.
No helmet.
Fucking
just don't ride.
Terrifying.
It's just ATTG, all the gear, all the time. At-gat.
Yeah, agreed. 100% agreed. All right, question. Is it the cost of ingredients? So Andrew Lang, question, Colin, thank you. Is it the cost of ingredients going up, distribution costs, or lower patronage, which is causing so many brews to go into VA? Or is there more going on than I'm aware of?
Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes.
D, all of the above.
Yeah, there's lots going on, isn't there? There's
have a fucking look at it, man. You know, I'm looking at the raw materials prices, and pre-pandemic, domestic Pilsner malt was $1.18 a kilo. It's now nearly $1.50. And so 1 pint of grain basically makes about 3 or 4 pints of beer. So that's a pretty huge cost. The yeast, dry yeast especially, is huge. It was like a 500 gram brick of USO5 at the start of 2020 was $68. It's now $96. So if you are a brewer and you want to save money on yeast,
multiple of 12 though, isn't it? So that's
it is. Yeah, that's just fine. If you are a brewer and you want to save money on yeast, hit me up, because I'm rolling out a course at the moment and teaching people how to confidently repitch yeast and not infect their beer and save up to 97%.
Wow, you were really giving the alley-oop to that question, weren't you? Thank you.
Yep, thanks, man.
Thanks, Andrew. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. That's it.
Well, it's been good.
Wait, if I let's just say goodbye. Cheers, and have a good week.
Have a good week, everybody.